Oh, right. I'm filming this in the tub because it came to me. And it's something I've always known in the back of my head, and it's something I noticed for a minute and then I would move on. But I think it's important to say the message is far more important than the person. And that's absolutely true. The message is more important than the person. 100,000%. The reason I say this is because, I could tell you about the things I'm skeptical of, but who led me there, I could not tell you. It's just something that happened through osmosis. And I think it's true, for any field. I was going to say is that people can go on and on about Stalin or Lenin or Mao or Che Guevara. And the thing is that you can praise these folks. You can. But what they lead to is a better world. A better world where you don't have to work, 40, 50, 60, 70 a week, slaving for, $2 an hour or something like that. And while I can't fully say I 100% agree with these folks, they did what they had to do to try to create something better. They had to do what was pragmatic for that time and for their own country. As far as I know, Cuba did not get rid of the Catholic Church. They severely limited it, and you can feel as you want to about that sort of thing, but Catholic Church is still there. In China, you couldn't get rid of, Confucianism and those beliefs, so they integrated it into Chinese culture, and they further put it into the Chinese Communist Party. Ideas like filial piety, caring for your parents, this and that. It's still a big, it's still one of those cultural issues in China where if you find a Chinese woman, then you don't just marry her, you marry her family, So I think I'm going to get sort of metaphysical here, but the thing is that people, even me included, are just vessels. I don't mean that in some, weird sort of, we're going to be lifted up by aliens or no. I'm just saying is that we are merely vessels. We are merely soundboards for something better. And that's how we need to think of things as. Because ultimately, you, the individual who is listening to this, is going to do what they feel is correct and pragmatic. Yes, you can be driven ideologically, yes, but you have to fit that within the material conditions. You have to fit that into the region that you are. The United States is primarily a Protestant country. I mean, you get into the whole WASP mindset and everything else like that. You could dislike sports completely. But if something, the redacted ever happened, you still have to include football, basketball, soccer, whatever. I mean, most folks don't care, It's like, okay, Americans do not care about soccer or football, as the rest of the world says it, but a bit of footy, as the Anglos say. But yeah, I'm getting off topic. The point is that you have to be realistic about the situation you're in. And while I may preach from a more Americentric perspective, because I am an American, I've never left this country. And while I'm trying, not necessarily that well, but I am trying to understand, different cultures and understand different regions and how they were influenced. is, how are you going to adapt that to your country? I think about, like green juche, for example. Green juche, I believe, is down in Chile, as far as I know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me make sure here. I still have that link, by the way. I know that he said this a long time ago. Oh, yes, Bernardo O'Higgins. That's it. Bernardo O'Higgins was the, yeah, Chile. hmm So he was, obviously Spanish and Irish ancestry. But yeah, he was kind of on the similar level as Simon Bolivar, in Colombia, because that's where Simon Bolivar was located, even though Bolivia is named after him. But yeah, primarily, um, according to what I was reading anyway, is that a lot of where Bolivar was located was in Colombia. I like saying Colombia, man. Make me sound like I'm Cuban, man. Cubano, man. Anyway, sorry. I've seen Scarface too many times, but once again, I got off topic again. But the thing is that people should take this message and be able to filter it through their own biases and their own material conditions. Maybe I'm using that word wrong, but through their own experiences, I'll put it that way, through their own experiences and what they've seen and how they have found something that works and be able to adapt it. That's the whole idea of why people say Marxist-Leninist Maoism, or Marxist-Leninist Maoism, third worldism, or, principally Maoist and all that, like I said, or whichever, to say, it's the same type of thing. Dare I use it? Well, you know what? No, if I did that, it'd be kind of cringe. I was going to say fascism isn't the same in other countries, but that would be a cringe point. That'd be a very cringe point. But it is true where you think that, Spain included the Phalange and was much more of a Catholic-centered nation. Oh, sorry, I'm going to go ahead. Whereas, Italy and, also, obviously there's the Vatican right there, and obviously had influence from the Pope directly, but it was a different form, wasn't it? To say, oh well, Spain and Italy are the similar countries. No, like I say, I'm reading this book obviously for school about international management. And I think, obviously it is very true. Yeah, there are overlaps, but to say that they're completely the same, no. I think that was back in chapter 3 or 4, I think was talking more about the differences between, Italy and, and Spain and everything else. And they may be considered more Latin countries. They are not the same thing. But once again, I'm getting off topic. But the thing is, though, is that my message is more of a try to remember what happens on the ground. You can read your theory and, try to get some solace from that or try to, be motivated by that and understand where these people came from, but that was their time. You have to be able to adapt those things to the modern day, So, I think at the end of the day, I think a lot of folks just think, yeah, if we just keep on making YouTube and Twitch YouTube videos and Twitch streams, and yeah, we're going to convert people. It's like, okay, you're just creating parasocial relationships. You're just creating a fan base. You're not doing on the ground stuff. You have to go out there and do something. And I know, like I say, even, Blackbird Guard, golly, I need a counter for how many times I name drop folks. I'm sorry. But, it says you got to go amongst the people. But the thing is, though, does he really go amongst the people? Like I said, you have to be able to really understand what goes on and talk to the young folks. Get those young folks around, see what they're talking about, right? If they're if they're cool with with TikTok, or if they're you know, I don't know, if they like, whichever music or something like that, find a way to ease into it, You know, if you can teach one person, that's all that matters. You have that one person who understands, I mean, it's kind of like a martial arts master, right? Where he would rather have that one good student than 40 or 50 rubbish students. It's easier that way, right? Do you need 100 people to, figure that out? Or do you just need that one person? As long as that one person understands it and they're able to teach it the right way and they find somebody, now, of course, I know that there are issues with that of, dilution and everything else, but I think that that's how it can work, And this is how, the Green Berets work with force multiplying, right? Where they will go into, they went into Vietnam, and the Hmong, I believe, is the proper term. Montagnards is a racist term. Thank you, Luna Oy, by the way. But the Hmong people, which were Christian people, they were Catholic, but then they converted, I think, to Protestantism. But anyway, joined, Green Berets in defending, these hills and everything else like that. Some left, some stayed. But like I said, beyond that is think about taking, the steps towards something more. But realize that that person, should not be, made into a deity, like a religious person. You should say, yeah, I appreciate what they taught me, but you know what? I kept moving forward and did what I had to do. Yeah, I kind of went all over the place, and maybe that was kind of scattershot, but I wanted to cover that issue because I did think about it. And yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I have to say. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Hopefully the audio isn't too rubbish, but we'll find out. Anyway, hope y'all enjoy, and goodbye.